Okay guys, welcome back. So we still have Tomo with us. Obviously the big talking point this year is going to be the driver. We've just went through the driver with you.
Yep.
But we don't want to forget about the fairway woods, which have been hugely successful for us personally over the last few years with Sim and Sim 2, and with kind of the new sort of modification from Stealth. We're seeing more changes, more performance being extracted from those.
Absolutely. I mean, I think for us, you know, one of the cool opportunities was to really change up the configuration, especially the steel fairway, because we've had the same formula for a while, really since M2, with kind of the speed pocket, the carbon crown, kind of this sort of recipe has been really successful for us, and we've done well with it. And we've tweaked it a little bit. We've added twist face back in 2019. Obviously, V-Steel came in 2020. Few little tweaks, but this year was the first time we really changed how we do the carbon crown. So really, in terms of you're extending the use of it. There's a lot more carbon in this club. Obviously, it's an infinity edge around the edges, which looks cleaner, first of all.
It does look great,
but importantly, we have this carbon wrapping all the way into the toe here. And you know, as you know, with fairway woods, it's just, for a lot of, especially for amateur golfers, it's a hard club to hit, especially off the deck. And so we want to make sure that CG is really low, which means that you kind of have to put some of the weight up front, right, to get that projection low, to get high launch, low spin. But this really allowed us to put some weight in the back as well. So we kind of have a split mass internal system on this one, where we're trying to add as much MOI as we can to the club while obviously maintaining excellent launch conditions. We've done a little bit of shaping differences too. We've kept the V-Steel, but we've kind of lowered the heel and the toe areas a little bit more towards the ground, just to keep it, again, push that CG every little quarter millimeter or whatever lower to do that. And some of the shaping improvements I think have been done on the top as well. It sits a little lower to the ground now, especially with the tides. I think it's noticeable. And then the other thing that you know, we really love on this club is also this new alignment system.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
nice.
if you guys noticed that.
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure. One of the first things when we got the heads, we noticed that was quite prominent.
Yeah, so one of the things that, you know, I know we've talked about this before with you guys about just the alignment benefits of having the white paint at the front is significant. We see people when they don't have something to aim at the front, they tend to leave the head a little bit open because fairway woods tend to sit open naturally. Because you don't want them to sit close. So as a club designer, you kind of want to have it square to slightly open as a default. And a lot of golfers, if they don't see exactly where the face is pointing, they just kind of leave it there and then they just hit it. But when we have white up front, they notice right away. It's like, oh, that sits open, and they'll fix it a little bit, right? And so when we tested sort of like for like, all black versus the white paint, we noticed that the all black one was going about 6 yards-ish more right. Interesting. You know, for a right-handed player. So we wanted to replicate that with a way, without actually painting this differently, because we wanted to obviously keep that black theme going with the driver.
The family.
So we started doing this laser etching experiments, and you know, we actually found out this works the same as the white paint. And then I think what's nice about it for golfers that maybe don't need that, it's pretty subtle. So it's not as like in your face as the old one. So that was a really cool development as well that I think a lot of golfers will like, just how it looks and sets up behind the ball.
And it is a bit of an optical illusion because there is some curvature to it, and then when you put it down, I mean, it looks very, very straight.
It looks like a straight line, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does.
Which is so fantastic for alignment.
Yeah, and we blacked out all the score lines too, so there's no paint fill in the score lines, so that you're just looking at one thing. You know, you're not looking at multiple things that potentially confuse you. Yeah,
that's nice.
So obviously we've got a larger head in the Stealth. We've got the 175cc in the Stealth Plus. Still get the Zatec face.
Correct. Yeah.
Twist face in there. So again, just, you know, really continuing on with and evolving what was really working very well.
Yeah, I think this one was interesting for us because this one I would say has evolved faster in the last 2 years because it's a new technology. This, like I said, has been around really since M2. This one has been around really only 2 generations, Sim and then Sim 2. And so we're learning every time we launch these. We get feedback from Tour, we get feedback from the market about what people are liking. And the biggest thing for me has been in terms of feedback, everybody loves the launch conditions. High launch, this thing goes forever.
Yeah, it really does.
But some people feel like it's not forgiving enough or it doesn't have enough playability. So people who are selling it are selling it more to lower handicappers. So our goal for this one was to split the weight in this mass. So if you remember, the old sole plates were more in the middle. This one we have a big chunk of mass here, a big chunk of mass here, and a big chunk of mass in the back. So we're essentially splitting the weight to the corners. And this inertia is up almost 20% versus our last 2 versions. Without making the head bigger. So we're not sort of making it huge. We're making it more forgiving. We also made the face a little bigger, so we worked on shaping quite a bit to make the face bigger, but still make it look really good behind the ball.
It does.
And then again, make it look really low to the ground, make it give golfers that confidence. So essentially maintaining or slightly improving the launch conditions of Sim 2 Tie, but making the club more forgiving, more playable.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, the formula was really in there. I loved 7, 2. They were fantastic. Fairway woods, I mean, by far our best selling fairway woods in the store. It wasn't even close. So, you know, and I do think the black cosmetic on top, I think a lot of people will gravitate towards that.
Looks really,
Matty.
really sharp. And you're right, I think there was very few times that we even let another fairway wood kind of keep up with it, ball speed wise. We always had the longest fairway wood shots were always with Sim 2.
Nice,
so nice to see that it gets a little forgiveness update, because that might have been the only weakness, I guess so. Yeah.
Why don't we hit a couple?
Yeah,
why don't we hit a couple with the stealth? Then we'll hit some with the plus and just see some different launch windows for that, man.
Sounds good.
Good.
Awesome.
Beauty.
That was nice.
That's a nice
That
flight.
is a beauty. Whew. Really see the launch on that there, Matty. So when you're falling into the ideal window straight away, 11.2, 3,500
I
at
don't know, you can
111
improve on
feet.
that, really.
Yeah, that's a good looking flight, isn't it?
That is a good looking flight, quick as well, 159.
It's nice too.
Crushed as well.
It's great sound. Really nice sound.
Yeah, I mean, those three.
Actually hit that in the heel too. Like it's
Did you really?
It's amazing
Oh,
how
really?
straight that's flying. Yeah, I hit that a bit in the
That
heel.
looked amazing.
I thought it might start cutting, but it was one of the better ones.
Yeah. That's honestly the twist face part of it.
Yeah,
the
it
heel.
seems to be working really nicely. And I know we didn't hit drivers with you, but I noticed that with the driver. Like I heeled and towed a couple, and the straightness of the flight, not so much that it was like out and in, just kind of really stayed
It doesn't
on
curve a lot, yeah.
Didn't curve a lot. Yeah.
I mean, if we were kind of in the studio and we were able to kind of pull up the tables and look at the standard deviation on the ball speed and
I know,
some
so
of the
tight.
parameters there, I mean, that's so tight.
So tight.
159 point, I think 4 the first one was, and 159 point something the next one, then 160.
60.0,
3 different strikes, right?
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's really nice.
Let's move into the plus.
Oh,
I mean, that looked like
pretty,
a cannon there.
that really took off.
Nice high launch too. I like the.
It took off great, didn't it?
Yeah. And as you can see, the 3,300.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
cool.
amazing, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just exactly what we said. Everything else kind of in keeping.
same launch. Yeah.
Speed is good.
159. So similar ball speed on both. That just spins a little less.
That's really cool to
Launch
see.
is very
That
similar,
really
yeah.
is.
Like
isn't
exactly
it?
the amount that you were saying.
Side by side.
It's a good looking ball flight.
Yeah, really nice. And what we're seeing on tour
good.
with a lot of guys, because of its strong ball flight, is that they can play more loft.
Sure.
Okay.
So a lot of guys will take that 3 and they will click it a couple of clicks higher and maybe play it at 16 or
I was gonna
16.5.
say, yeah.
And it gives them that versatility of still going far off the tee when
Yeah.
they need it on a par 4, but then a little softer landing on a green. It's just coming in a little higher.
Good point. Yeah, they can
Yeah.
land it on a par 5.
Yeah.
That one felt
and
really
you
good.
just popping that on that little tee there, Matty, probably just a fractionally higher strike in the head there, just dropped the spin rate down, launch came up and retained all the speed, and it was a very, very good tee shot.
Great tee ball there.
Really
yeah,
nice
turned
tee
it over
shot.
a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny when we had DJ hit it, he hits very low spin on the fairwood, and he was spinning that like too low for his playable ball flight, but he was in the 24, 25s and hitting it a mile, but he was like, I can't play that.
Yeah, so he would play more loft.
He would play like a 16.5, 17 loft. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
This feels great.
You've kind of got this going now. I mean, you've got a lovely
can't go
little
wrong.
cluster going.
Yeah.
It's I think a little quicker on the swing on that one.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
It's fast. Wow.
Yeah. 270 carry, 291 total.
I mean, it
163 ball
definitely
speed.
feels more stable than I think. Like I loved the Sim Fairway wood, and I remember we hit it together 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think this is a lot less sensitive to the strike. I think I probably hit that one a little bit in the heel again. It's just it flies great.
Yeah.
Really
and honestly,
consistent.
that's been one of the biggest improvements that we have players noticing is just on those miss hits, less curvature.
Yeah.
We know fairwoods are lower MOI.
Right.
And so they're more prone to like that toe hit just curving a ton, and then same with the heel hits the other way. And it's just a little bit more consistent with that higher inertia and just going to see less curvature. And I think ultimately when you're playing, your misses is what is really going to hurt you.
Sure.
Especially with the fairway wood, like you're looking to put the ball in play, right?
Exactly.
Like it's a precision club.
It's a precision club, so
That was really good. I mean,
pretty impressed with that.
That was 6 in a row there, just right on cue.
Impressive
Doesn't
ball
happen very
striking,
often,
sure.
does it?
It really was. I mean, and obviously this isn't really us taking you into the studio and dialing it in and getting your shaft and getting you really comfortable.
Can't wait for that. I think I would be a candidate maybe to click the loft maybe half up, just like you were saying. I mean, I really like that a lot. Even really maybe in a 5 would be nice.
A 5 would be good too. Yeah,
fantastic, excellent. Well, Tomo, thanks. Thanks for your time.
No, absolutely.
And, it's great to do this stuff with you and obviously talk about these changes, look at the numbers, and go see that's that technology working. I think that really helps people understand why it is you're year on year developing these new technologies.
Absolutely. I mean, we're grinding over every single thing. And so when I see your launches being so good and the spin rates being where they are, I mean, that's what we grind over at the end of the day. And obviously you guys saying good things about how it looks and feels is just as important as well. So
good. No, we're really impressed with those.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Okay guys, can't wait to get it back up in the studio. This is amazing to be down here and obviously get our kind of initial impressions, get some numbers, but there's lots more to come with these.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Okay, stay tuned for more. We'll see you again soon.